Hey there, everybody. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another edition of Monday Night Must-See TV with the Hudson Valley Squares. We've got in the crew today, we've got Sydney Taylor, Ryan Scow, Chris Sallow, Butch Jones is our center square tonight. We've got Nick Franco and Steve Keeler. So tonight is all about our favorite title tracks. That's right. Those songs that also are the name of the album that they came from. A lot of great ones as the motorcycle driving by my house like crazy. As we found out when we were talking before we started taping, most of us found a lot of these, a lot of really good ones, and we may do multiple shows on this at some point. So but for tonight, everybody's picked 5 favorites. And here's how we're going to go. We're going to go Sydney, Ryan, Chris, Butch, Nick, Steve, and then myself. Everybody's going to give their picks. In between picks, people can comment before we move on to the next person. So Sydney, kick us off with your 5 favorite title tracks.
Wow, I have the honor of going first. That's crazy. Okay, cool. All right. So this was really hard, and I'm gonna leave some of the ones that I might have picked for some other people that I know are gonna choose them. But the first one I'm gonna go with is off of one of my favorite albums from this band, and the song that I loved the second I heard it, and that's the title track to Def Leppard's High and Dry. I love that song. I've never gotten the chance to hear it live. I got really close a couple years ago, but they only played it on Saturday nights, obviously, and I was not there on Saturday night, so I never got to see that song live. I love it though. Back, Def Leppard just had a lot of balls, for lack of a better term, on this record, and I love this album. So
that's everyone that's a hard rock fan, that's their favorite Def Leppard record.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Great. I love Pyromania too, but High and Dry is it's phenomenal.
Yep.
Next up, I'm gonna go with the choice that I wasn't initially gonna go with for Sabbath, but I'm gonna pick this one because this is probably ranks really high up in my favorite Sabbath records and is probably close to being my favorite Ozzy era song, and that's Sabbath Bloody Sabbath. Phenomenal track. I mean, I love this record as a whole. National Acrobat's one of my favorite Sabbath songs as well. But I love this song. I feel like a perfect mix of the heaviness that's Sabbath and even, kind of some of the more melodic stuff that they were able to do and kind of some of the softer stuff mixed with the intense stuff. So I love this album. Fantastic. And it's number 2. Number 3, I had to go with a band that I just had to go with one that people were expecting. Breaking the Chains. Love this album. I was debating Breaking the Chains or Tooth and Nail.
Yeah.
But I love the title track to Breaking the Chains. To me, this is where Dawkins started, obviously. And Jeff Pilson didn't play on this, but he was in the video. But I love this song. It's, to me, just a very memorable track for my, journey of being a Dawkins fan, at least. So had to pick this one. Since we picked 5 last minute, I don't have physical copies for the next 2, but that's fine. They're kind of back here. I don't want to fumble for them. But because I didn't pick this last week, I had to pick him this week. And I'm going to go with David Bowie, Ziggy Stardust. I know it's technically Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars, but Ziggy Stardust works. For me, I remember being 5 years old, and David Bowie was the first artist I ever loved, truly. I would listen to those songs and that album over and over again when I'd go to sleep. And so that song was just one of my favorite songs of all time. The album's just perfect album, top to bottom. So had to pick David Bowie because I forgot him last week, which is just, can't believe I forgot him. And then my last one, I'm going to go with one that was really high up there for me too, and is probably my favorite, or one of my favorite AC/DC records. I'm going to go with Highway to Hell, which to me encapsulates AC/DC just to a T. Like when I think of classic AC/DC, I think of Highway to Hell. And for me, it doesn't get much better than that song and that album, like Touch Too Much, Girls Got It's so good. So those are my 5. I have a lot more honorable mentions, but yeah, it was hard.
Hey, guess what, Sydney?
What?
I saw AC/DC on that tour.
Oh God, so shocked.
I was 12, but it was awesome though.
You saw them. That's what matters.
Yeah.
They were opening for these guys actually on this tour. For their
I've
shirt.
still yet to see AC/DC. I hope that they come back.
You'll get one more chance, I would think.
Yeah, that's the shitty thing, guys. I wish I was your age. I know I'm gonna get shit for that.
No, you don't.
You got the old like Chris on.
I'll trade you, and I'll get next to you in those bands.
But you know what? That's the only time I've actually seen AC/DC was in 1979.
Wow.
Only with Bond.
Yeah.
You saw Bon Scott?
Yep.
That's cool as fuck. Keep it that
That's
way.
fucking
Cool.
insane.
That's why I was saying it to you.
Wow, that's fucking insane.
Yep. I saw them open for UFO on when bands used to tour for the live records. So
Holy
the UFO
shit.
was touring for Strangers in the Night. That's what this shirt is.
That was with Tonka, right, Butch?
Yeah, which is right there, Mr. Tonka. The ticket, I still have the ticket stub. The ticket was $9. The original baseball style shirt that I got, that this is a copy of, was $11. So the shirt cost more than the ticket. I'll never forget
sure.
that.
That was the old 3/4 shirt, right?
Yep.
Yeah, those are great.
Yep.
Pay more for a beer now at that concert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, you paid more to
$10 here.
park.
I was gonna say, pay
You
more
paid
to
like
parking.
triple the park.
Paid 3 times as much to park.
Yeah.
Goddamn right.
That's crazy, Butch. Wow.
Yeah.
That's insane. There's
My
very
mom-
few people I feel like that can say that they saw Bon Scott. So that's insane.
I was very, and I actually touched him. He walked by the aisle with Angus on his shoulders, and I had just started playing guitar, and he
Which
walked
gave him a
by.
touch too much.
He walked by, but I remember I was like second or third seat in off the row, so I kind of was moved towards the row so I could see them coming, and I'm watching them come by with him on his shoulders as Angus is playing, and I'm looking. I'll never forget this either. I'm looking back, looking for the chord. I'm like, "Where's the guitar chord?" But
Sorcery.
I don't see one, but I hear him playing from this. I don't understand. That's 1979, and I was 12. Wireless wasn't a big thing yet,
Yeah.
but he had one. He's probably one of the first ones to have one because he needed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Very
that was really cool.
good story.
Great picks.
Nice.
All right, Ryan.
Well, I'll tell you who I didn't pick. I'll make this real quick. This past Saturday, Nicholas and myself saw the Iron Maidens, great cover band. I've got like 5 favorite bands because there's no fucking rule that says you're only allowed to have one favorite band. So Iron Maiden's like my favorite band, Nick's favorite band. They were great. So I didn't pick an Iron Maiden now because I thought Nick was going to pick it. I'll just spoil that right away. Because Iron Maiden obviously have a lot of good songs that fit this category, except for Peace of Mind. It's weird that album doesn't. But
They
anyway,
have a couple.
yeah, they have several. So my first one is an American band from 1983. Great title track. When we started, we were going to do 3, and then Pete's like, let's pick 5. So I just grabbed this one off the shelf at the last minute, and that is the title track to Crystal Logic by Manila Road. You know, we did a Manila Road show a couple weeks, months, whatever ago.
Couple months.
I have no sense of time anymore because of COVID, so I don't know what the fuck's going on. But yeah, this is a great song off probably their best album, probably their best known album. Just awesome early classic U.S. heavy metal. I think this is their 3rd album. They had an album, they didn't release it, and it came out years later. So who the hell knows? The second one is my second favorite British guitarist. First favorite is Tony Iommi. The second favorite is Alan Jones from Pagan Altar, and this is from their album Lords of Hypocrisy, the title track, Lords of Hypocrisy. They recorded this back in, I'm going to fuck this up. They recorded this in the early 80s, but it never came out, my understanding, until it was reissued years later. So it finally came out in the 2000s, and the dude is just...
That up again, Roy? Hold that up again.
Oh, yeah. Well, this is a reissue artwork. The original artwork was kind of a little
That's
more simple. But this one was, yeah, it's a really, really nice reissue, really nice gatefold. All the lyrics in there, like the kind of like medieval font, you know, with the metal stamping in there. Yeah, so the dude is just he's like the Ronnie James Dio of guitar in my mind. This guy's just a fucking wizard. The leads he plays on these albums. And the first song is Lords of Hypocrisy. They're a little obscure because their stuff didn't get issued years later. So they were in the new wave of British heavy metal. They kind of got, you know, I don't think they really released anything back then. But the stuff that they did record and finally did come out, it's fucking awesome. So if you like that sound, if you like the Dio era Sabbath, if you like, you know, Dio era Rainbow, like that kind of stuff, these guys are worth checking out. So check that out on YouTube, Lords of Hypocrisy.
I only laughed, Ryan, because you started that by saying your second favorite guitar player after Tony Iommi, and then you mentioned someone I've never heard of before.
From England. Second favorite from England. Well, you know me, my favorite's always going to be Piggy from Voivod. So from
Right.
England, yeah. No, you know what? If you I bet if you go on YouTube, you check out some of this guy's songs. His
He's a great riff master. Yeah, he
his
is.
riffs are
Okay.
great, but his leads are
Leads are
just
really good, too.
out of this fucking world.
What
He
is it? Pagan what? Altar?
Pagan Altar. Yeah.
Okay.
They released they have 4 albums out,
Yeah, not a lot.
and it all came out much later in time because they're just one of those bands that had shit luck, so it never came out back then. I think there was a demo, some rehearsal stuff. If you know the band Ashbury, sorry, same deal. You know, they had an album in '82, like 5 people heard of it, and now it was reissued, and now they're kind of, more people know about them. So moving right along, my third favorite is from Los Angeles. This is the best song ever written about Judge Dredd, and that is the title track to the second Dark Angel album, Darkness Descends. I don't know if it's the best song on the album. It might be, but it's definitely the coolest song ever written about Judge Dredd. Not really into that Anthrax song too much. And if there's a third song, I don't fucking know it. But yeah, this is, I think, one of the best thrash albums ever. It was not written by Slayer, so I'm going with Dark Angel. And same, also Los Angeles band though, so same city. Moving right over to Sweden for the fourth one, I'm going to pick the title track from the fourth Bathory album, Blood, Fire, Death. Now, this album's kind of a cool transition because it starts with a song that's like big and epic and triumphant. Then it's got a whole bunch of very fast thrash metal songs, and then the last song is the title track. It's over 10 minutes, and it's just you got your stein of beer in the air, and there's like Viking hordes rolling by, pillaging your town, probably killing you. It's got that kind of feel to it. So, and the artwork obviously is fucking awesome. So yeah, Blood, Fire, Death from the 1987 Bathory.
That song kicks in. When that song kicks in and gets going,
Oh,
I'll go through a fucking wall.
I know Nick will go through a wall.
Right through a wall. Any
I've
wall.
seen him do it. Not like a sheetrock wall either. We're talking concrete.
Concrete,
Solid piece of masonry. Solid masonry. And of course, I had to pick an obscure band. I can't
No, really?
I know. Shock and surprise. But
Pagan Altar wasn't enough.
No.
no, not at all. So I got to go 1997, Australia. Also, my other favorite band besides Iron Maiden, because you can have more than one, because there's no fucking rules that say otherwise. The title track to the first Destroyer 666 album, Unchain the Wolves. It's a little over 10 minutes. It's fucking great. I've heard it about conservatively 45 million times. Never gets old. I just listened to it twice today. It's fucking
Of
great.
course you did.
Of course I did. And that's my last pick.
I know that band. That wasn't so unknown.
You know what? This topic, you could pick the biggest bands that have sold out stadiums to bands that like me and like 5 guys from Minnesota have heard. Like this topic really, it could be anything because a lot of bands have full title tracks. So.
There's one that I could have sworn you were going to pick and you haven't, so I still have them in my reserves over here. So.
I'll be honest, Pete. When we did this, I said, you know what? I'm going to pick the Destroyer track because I love them, and the other ones, I literally wrote some names and I picked them out of a hat. Just randomly pick names because I'm like, there's so many. Yeah,
there is.
I don't know what to pick, so I just picked the Manila Road last. But yeah, I had like 50 possible choices.
Yeah,
there's so many good. I'm curious what band you think I was gonna pick and I didn't pick.
You'll have to wait and see.
There's
still a chance that someone else might pick it.
I thought you would have took also, which I won't mention.
I don't want to
I think
spoil
Steve and I both are on the same wavelength here. We'll see. All right. So, Chris, what do you got?
Okay, I'm just gonna say Pete screwed up my theme here.
I threw everybody a curveball tonight. Look at that.
Hit everybody with a curveball because my picks were I purposely picked 3 releases that I really like the releases and I really like the songs, but they were also times when the band stylistically changed from their debuts. But then Pete said, "Okay, make it 2 more," and I also purposely did not because I could have like Ryan mentioned with Maiden, I could have picked probably 15 different Sabbath title tracks, but I do happen to have 2 Sabbath records in front of me when Pete said make it 5, and I'm really tired and too fucking old to think up anything else. So fuck it, I'm just going with Sabbath. Technically, this first one was a stylistic change and certainly a groundbreaking record and one of my favorite songs. And it's the title track of Heaven and Hell. It's courtesy of Steve Keeler at Rock Fantasy. This is the new Record Store Day pressing, which I wish I had one more so I could open it, but I'll just have to leave it with 2021 air in here. I did buy 4 more copies recently of Heaven and Hell and Mob Rules. I couldn't find. I got the other Heaven and Hell's in the garage somewhere, and I couldn't find it.
How many does that make now?
Fuck man, I don't know. Got to be a dozen of each.
Ooh,
I have to ask then. So, are there differences of them?
Yeah,
You have so many.
Well, like when they first came out, I had the album, the tape, and the CD.
That I get.
So that was 3.
Yep.
And then, as you know, since then there have been multiple remasters and reissues. So I probably have at least 2 or 3 that are just remasters with no bonus material. And then there's 2 other picture discs. I know I have Mob Rules autographed. I have another Mob Rules signed just by Ronnie. And then this year was 6 more because it was 3 of each. And there's other multiple ones. Every time it comes out, I buy it again.
You mean in different formats?
Well, yeah. Well, with different bonus tracks, different pressings.
Okay.
Because every time, as Pete knows, every time it comes out, they put something extra. So like the
fuckers like us, right?
Yeah.
Do you have pressings like from other countries and stuff too?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
So like this is. Oh wait, no shit, wrong one. So Heaven and Hell came out as a double. So in 2021, Heaven and Hell and Mob Rules both came out
Mob Rules version
as double discs. But then they also did them on vinyl, on regular vinyl, and then they also did them as a picture disc.
Okay.
So like just for Mob Rules, I had to buy the album, the picture disc, and then the double CD.
Okay.
So that was 3 more Mob Rules. I did the same for Heaven and Hell, so that was 3 more. Yeah, it's got to be at least a dozen of each, maybe more.
I think you bought a car for Tony Iommi.
Yeah, you're sick.
At least.
I have to
a nice
say,
oven, like an $85,000 oven in his house.
Yeah.
It should have your name engraved on
Never
it.
change, Chris. Never change.
Yeah,
I have to say about that title track though, like about Heaven and Hell, like if there was one song that somebody asked me, like if you could like describe what heavy metal sounded like in like one song, like to me it would be Heaven and Hell. Like
yeah, I mean,
you hear that bass
it's
intro
epic.
and you're like, oh, that's it.
Right.
That's it.
yeah,
Everybody, shut
it's
the fuck up. We're listening to this.
Yeah.
it's perfect. Like it's literally
the thundering bass that is ripping guitar.
oh
The changes, especially the end when it gets real heavy and fast. Yeah, it's a great track.
And
So,
Chris,
yeah,
trust me, I'm asking you out of sincerity. I'm actually.
Oh
really
yeah, no, I
honest
don't.
Because
I
trust me,
don't take it any offense.
I don't do it so much with well, maybe a couple of things with music wise, but the Gretzky thing, I get it, where I have to have, one that can't be open, one that I can open, and
Right.
if there's a variant to it and blah blah blah.
Oh sure.
I get that.
I mean, I just found a mountain of Misfits Super 7 action figures, and I'm like, oh fuck, I have the pink one and the yellow one, but I don't have the red one.
Exactly.
You gotta get it. You gotta buy it.
It's tough.
Keeps
man.
you up at night.
Like I said, I know I've said it on the show before. On the back of the action figure, which I guess I don't have any packaged action figures next to me, but I do have my Batman cologne. But on the back, it would say "Collect them all," and it just stuck with me.
Well, he's like,
And yeah, this is my sealed Batman cologne. I have another Batman cologne that I actually do wear.
wow.
I gotta smell
curse
like a
is
crime fighter.
real, people. The curse is
Yeah.
real.
Yeah, no,
Got my
it's-
Batman cologne and my
Wait a
slippers and my
minute.
glasses.
So Chris, right now you're Bruce Wayne, and when you put the cologne on, do you turn into the Bat?
that's it. You gotta smell like a crime fighter, man. I would swing across rooftops on the Batarang, but that rope would snap in a fucking
So
second.
which Batman do you smell like?
Adam West. Adam
I
West.
was gonna say, yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't know. Are we talking live action? I don't know.
Yeah,
I
live
did kind of
action.
like Ben Affleck. I got to be honest, because he was
Really?
big.
Don't say George Clooney. I don't want to hear that.
Yeah, no, no George Clooney. Michael Keaton's funny, but
He was, but he wasn't good
Yeah.
as Batman.
Christian Bale.
and I did like
I love
Christian
Bale.
Bale, but I hated that third Batman movie that they did. I mean, I fucking hated that movie.
Oh, Batman Forever.
Really? You hated it?
No, the Dark Knight,
Oh, with
Returns?
Bane?
the one where he gets his back broken and they hang him up like a salami and they
You
punch
didn't
him.
like that? Wow.
Oh my god.
Your boy
Pete,
Niami.
I know this isn't Monsters Den, but I mean, dude, he gets his back broken and they hang him up like a piece of meat, and like the fucking meat in Rocky, and they punch him, and that fixes his broken back.
It's direct from the comics, though. That's
Is that
No,
with Bale?
I know. Bane breaks Batman's back, but he didn't get punched in the back, right, to get his back
yeah,
fixed.
that was a little ridiculous. But the rest of the
Right,
movie,
Azrael came in. and-
Hollywood.
Yeah, dude. And then not for nothing, we get to, and this is totally off subject, but we get to the final fight scene. Bane versus Batman. We've been waiting this whole movie. Batman, let's go. And what happens? Catwoman comes in and shoots Bane.
Didn't see that coming, did you?
Oh.
Victory from the
Now that
judge.
was great. That's what I want in my Batman movie. And then hold on, wait. Batman is driving with a nuclear bomb on the fucking bat plane. So what's he do? He drives a mile off the coast of fucking Gotham City and it explodes. But Gotham City's totally fine. It doesn't turn into like the wasteland from the fucking Road Warrior. It's fine. Batman saved the day. I mean,
Must have been a
Pete,
tiny
we could do
little
a whole show on how bad that movie is. And I love you, Pete, but that movie's fucking terrible.
Okay.
Superman,
long
at least
movie, too.
took- Superman
That's a
at
long
least
movie.
took that nuclear bomb up into space.
Well, yeah, that's a Superman thing.
Superman did that.
We
Who
don't
was
need
the-
Batman to disarm bombs for nuclear.
Who was the love interest in that?
It was Talia al Ghul who turned on him, but I don't remember the actress's name. It was a foreign girl.
Okay, because
But I
Gyllenhaal
remember-
was the
Oh,
second
actually,
one, right?
yeah, it was Catwoman. What the fuck was her name?
I don't remember who ended up playing her.
Prada,
later.
whatever.
Yeah, from The Devil Wears Prada.
Yeah.
Oh,
Very
Anne
good
Hathaway.
Yeah, he actually had
Right,
two
right.
love interests in that
Yeah,
movie.
Gyllenhaal was the second one, right?
The metalcore outfit and the Devil Wears Prada from
Yes. Boy,
You know,
I'm sorry.
I never thought of the
We
fact
got
that he
totally
only
off
flew,
subject there.
Chris, I never thought of the fact that he only flew the nuke like a mile. You're right. A mile's like
I mean, listen, that movie is so bad. I fucking hate that movie.
I love
it.
it.
Yeah, it was long too. It goes on. It's like a Scorsese.
Oh,
film.
dude, I
It
did
goes on and on.
I did the 3 movies in a row when that movie premiered, so I could be the first one to see it. They
Gotta
they
be better
started.
than-
Batman Begins at like 6:00. Then they did, the next was the Dark Knight at like 8:00, and then the other one. And I walked out, and I'm like, the fucking movie was terrible. I hated it,
How cool is
favorite-
Batman clone?
But that's
Better than
me.
some of those superhero movies.
and I like bad movies, so I don't know.
My favorite part was when Sam carries the ring up Mount Doom for Frodo. That's my favorite.
See,
When
That
Sam
movie
carries
was also
the ring up
12,
Mount Doom, that was
24
my
fucking hours long, Nick.
It's got to be better than the new Wonder Woman. I really do.
oh, that was terrible too.
Oh, yeah.
It was
But,
That might be.
way
I think I
off
like
topic
that movie better than whatever that Batman 3 was. I mean,
here. Oh, no,
I
you
saw
don't.
it on sale for $1 at a tag sale. And I hate that movie so much. I didn't pay. I wouldn't. I don't have it. I don't
I
have
have
it.
one- I have one statement to
European
make.
festival.
Oh well.
What
Oh,
does
wow.
Batman cologne smell like though? What
It smells pretty good. I mean, like I said, it
Can't get off this
makes me smell like a
Batman.
crime fighter.
It was like
For
fear.
a while, we were at the Orange County Fair for the Iron Maidens on Wednesday night. We had a fan walk up and he said, "Wow, it's nice to meet you."
Iron
and
Maidens was Saturday
pointed
night.
out that Nick
Oh my
Franco.
god.
And guess what? He goes, and I said, "Well, Ryan," he goes, that's the guy that has the little dog that washes his face."
Nice.
That's
Yeah, Mike-
hilarious.
The guy specifically mentioned this dog. This
Like, that's the guy that gets his face washed by the dog. Yeah, that's him.
Bugsy.
first thing he said. Swear to God. I was like, oh,
that
you
young
own
man
the dog."
had an amorphous shirt on the other
And
night.
then he
so-
said, when he left, he said, and say hi to the dog. Like, yeah, I'll go home and say hi to the dog. Yeah, she knows.
Nice.
He knows what's going on.
There was another guy that was there from Ecuador that was a fan of the show, and he had known one of the girls that works for me. And I don't know whether he just moved here or he's been there a few years, but say hello to everybody that's watching. It was at the fairgrounds. We had a good time.
Very cool.
I was gonna say Ryan just blew up his own spot. Yeah, like I'm gonna go home and say hi to the dog. Now you know the guy watching you. He just said hi.
The dog doesn't know. I mean, it's a dog. She doesn't know.
No, but you just told the guy, yeah, like I'm gonna go home and say hi to the dog for you. The guy's watching you say this right now.
I'm saying hi to the dog. I apologize.
Hi, Daisy. That man said to say hello to you too. I woke you up.
You blew up your own spot.
I did. I blew myself up.
Well,
Of course,
I'm much nicer to meet in person than that means. I'm not going to make fun of you if you come up to me.
We all love when we meet folks out.
No, I make fun of everybody. That's how I am.
Chris, I'm sorry that I asked you which was your favorite Batman that made you
That's
go
okay.
off on a tangent.
That's all right. Listen, Pete,
Get back to your
edit this
stuff.
whole section out. That way, make it nice and tight.
We're no longer doing our favorite title tracks. We're talking about our favorite and worst Batman movies.
There you go.
Welcome to the show, guys.
Well, how many did you name, Chris? I think you named 2 so far.
Oh yeah, real quick.
Jody, get back to your
yourself.
stuff.
They were definitely this band went in a more violent, hardcore direction, and I love the title track of this record. It's one of my favorites, and it's Earth AD from the Misfits. It's super fucking fast and thrashy and aggressive, and this band really went through a lot of style changes in a 6-year period. This one is my favorite literally my favorite song from this band. I saw them 50 something times. I nearly shit myself the first time I saw them do it. I think I've only seen them do it, I think 2 or 3, definitely twice, maybe 3 times. I don't know, but it's Slayer, Haunting the Chapel.
Oh, nice.
Again, this is a song where or another instance where the band changed their style. They definitely stepped it up a notch and became faster, more aggressive. Dave Lombardo started doing the double bass for the first time on this release. And then lastly, another favorite of mine, definitely my favorite long song, period. A band that was super influential. And they coined the term black metal, and this was really cinematic metal. And it's the title track of "At War with Satan" from Venom. It's 20 something minutes, and I can't think of I don't know do we call it cinematic black metal? Did I just make that up? I don't know.
Yep.
But let's go with it. So those are my 5. Technically 3 plus the 2 Sabbaths, and then sorry about the Batman stuff.
That's quite all right. It was
fun.
That was entertaining.
Yeah.
Nice little sidebar there, Yeah. For those watching who haven't watched the Monsters Den, we go through on tangents like that all the time on that show. Thursday night, check it out.
I'm ready to do a Batman show though now, Pete. Holy shit.
We might have to, right?
We just have to.
We'll go over and do it on Comic Book Geezer or something.
Yeah, that's true. That would totally work.
Yeah.
I'm in.
All right, our center square, Mr. Jones.
Hey, let me drink first.
Woo, drink.
Definitely go check out that bourbon from that place in Newburgh, Butch.
I went there last year, and they weren't selling stuff.
They are now. The whole room is open. They got all sorts of interesting things.
Good. I will stop by and check it out for sure. So 5. All right. So this isn't really in any order until you get to number 1, just because. So number 5, Y&T's Black Tiger, because Dave Medichetti should be a household name for his voice and his guitar playing, and the great Leonard Hayes, who I still think, I will argue with anybody, I still think he has the greatest right foot in drum history. I think he had a better foot than John Bonham. Leonard Hayes did some incredible stuff on those first 4 or 5 records. Any drummer out there that knows Y&T is agreeing with me right now, and everyone else is like, you're fucking crazy, John Bonham was the greatest. Go listen to that record and get back to me. Leonard Hayes was awesome, and that song is a great title track. So all my 5, honestly, I don't know if any of you will see this coming. I mean, I don't think any of them, I definitely have professed my love for all the bands I'm going to talk about for sure, but I don't think you would expect them today in this, at least the first round of this for sure. Another band that I've defended to the ends of the earth. The first King Cobra record. The second one is awful. The first one is phenomenal. Debut record is I would say is in my top 10 debut albums of all time. Yes, they did have the 80s Karma and a Piece. I'm gonna be dark hair, and the other four you guys are gonna be platinum blonde with pink in it. Still looked really cool at that time. I listen to this record to this day all the time. I love this record. It sounds phenomenal. Great guitar tone. David Michael Phillips and Mick Sueda, who went on to be in the Bullet Boys. That is just a great album from top to bottom. Like I said, after that, I'm not defending them so much. Maybe the third record's good, but the second one is completely awful. But the first one, Ready to Strike, title track, awesome. I'm gonna go with this one next. So, Rush Hemispheres.
Yes.
I think most people that are Rush fans, as I'm just looking at the back cover of this, just looking at it, thinking, it's that first opening chord from Alex Lifeson that has become so iconic. One chord swirling through and everything. It is so iconic. 18 minutes long is just phenomenal. And this is my original album that I got in 1978 when I was 11 years old. Phenomenal. I'm always gonna love that album. Depending on the day, it's Hemispheres or Permanent Waves for my favorite Rush record, but that is a great title track for sure. Here's one that none of you are seeing coming. Pete, maybe. And I only have it on MP3. I don't have the vinyl or it on CD, although I made it into a CD, so I printed it out. UK's wow. Danger Money. God damn, do I love that record. I love that band. I mean, I love Rush and Yes, and I kind of want to say I think UK is my favorite prog band. They only have 3 official releases, so it makes it easy because they made 3 great records, 2 great studio records and a great live record. But the second one, which is Danger Money, is shorter songs and kind of more to the point, where the first one had Alan Holdsworth, which for guitar players is just phenomenal because Holdsworth is outer-worldly. But I love the second record with Terry Bozzio on it instead of Bill Bruford, and Eddie Jobson is just phenomenal. Number one, I think Can't Let People Down, because you're expecting something from me from this band. Obviously, it's just a matter of what album could it be. And I'm gonna send this out to my friend Rich Murphy because this is his favorite song from this band. So I'm gonna go with Thin Lizzy's Chinatown because this is an album that I never talk about. There's some great stuff on this record, and Chinatown, that riff in Chinatown is completely iconic. It's still underground to some extent for sure, but it's anyone that knows this stuff, just you hear that riff and it's on, and it's just a great riff. So Murph, that's for you.
There was a lot of Thin Lizzy. I almost was thinking about doing this one, but the song isn't. The main name of the song isn't Black Rose, so I'm like,
well, it is. It's just Black Rose in Gaelic.
Yeah, that's true. But, yeah, Thin Lizzy had quite a few.
A few of them, yeah.
I was gonna go with Bad Reputation but I talk about that record all the time, so that's why I'm like, you know what? Let me give some love to Chinatown. So,
which Butch, by the way, I had Don Jameson on my podcast. We did like a top 5 underrated bands, and a number 1 he picked Thin Lizzy as his.
Oh, he loves Lizzy, yeah.
Yeah, and so I brought you up, and he was like, yeah, he's even crazier about them than I am.
That's cool. Don's a good guy for sure.
Yeah, he's awesome. So I thought you'd appreciate that was his number 1.
Unfortunately, Don has rubbed in my face probably the only thing that I regret so far of my life, of not real things, but just stupid things that you regret, is that he went to Ireland and hung out with Philomena Lynott, Phil's mom. And I was invited by his mom to go visit her, and I never went over. And then as I'm like, I gotta hurry up and do this before she dies, and then she died. And so I absolutely regret that. So it's awesome that he went there. I've met a bunch of people over the years now that met her and went there and went to the house, and she went to the grave with her, and She made him tea. So that's cool that Dom had that experience for sure. She was a wonderful woman.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, Nick.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. So when you gave us this topic, I remember I was thinking, well, there's so many like obvious ones that everybody loves, and and probably people would expect me to pick or whatever. So
don't let me down, Nick. Don't let me down. You got to give me one that I can't read.
Oh yeah, no, well, I did some subcategories because I think
Okay.
I've earned that right because I'm so weird. But no, I was thinking like, a title track doesn't necessarily have to like, it can be so good the rest of the album maybe isn't as good as the title track. It still makes it a good title track. I'm trying to look at like, what is the intent of a title track, right? It's to get you, it's to basically tell you what the band means to do. Like to me, it's very important. And I was going through a lot of stuff, like walking, with my headsets on and just sampling music throughout the previous week for this. And I found myself like with a particularly iconic band. And I'm going to pick a song from them that it will probably not be the first song that people will think of, or the second song that people, or the third song that people think of when it comes to this band. Yeah, I think And I've talked about this song at length. So at the risk of repeating myself, I'm going to say, I don't know if it was the time in my life when I heard it, but I've gone back to it, and I think it has everything you want in a title track, even though the rest of the album did not deliver on its promise, is Ram It Down by Judas Priest. That has everything you want on it. It's just right away, grabs you by the throat, doesn't let go, great pace. It's got the phenomenal guitar solo, really singable chorus. I just think if the rest of the album was that good, it would be the best Judas Priest album, and it's not.
Oh, them's big words. Them's big words.
For me, it would be my. It would be my. Because my favorite's Defenders of the Faith. I don't have like a normal Judas Priest upbringing, whatever. Ram It, I don't give a shit what people think. But Ram It Down to me is just phenomenal, priceless. Sounds just as good to this day.
You know what, Nick? Though I gotta say, leading up to it the way you just did, I'm sold on it. If you had just said it, I would have killed you. But the way that you led up to it, it makes sense.
Excellent.
I'll give you that.
Song. It really is. It's a damn good song.
It's a good song on a terrible record.
Exactly.
I can't argue with that. I can't argue with it.
But it's so good that I had to put it there. And I love other
that.
Priest title tracks.
I give you that.
So moving along in kind of the same vein, I agonized. I agonized over picking the song I picked or Overkill from Motorhead, because Overkill is, I mean, come on,
Ooh.
Yeah. But I'm going with this because, and you'll probably kill me, Butch, but I'm going with it because I think that at the time that they made it, there had been enough time had elapsed in their crazy lives that they could look back on a pretty amazing career, and then now they were breathing life into that amazing career and going on to the back nine on full bore. And I'm going with the song because remember, this is title tracks.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what this is.
We Are Motorhead.
That's not what I was thinking. Okay.
That's all right. We Are Motorhead is 3 minutes long. It's
Really short, yeah.
every word, it is just such an adrenaline rush. We're the ones you heard of, but you never heard. Like, oh my God, we're the flame at night, the fire in the trash. Come on. I mean, the lyrics, that makes me want to run through a goddamn wall every time I hear it.
Again?
You're gonna get sore.
They succeeded in that one. And they've succeeded a million times before. I mean, you could name so many. You could do this entire show just on Motorhead songs, But that's where I'm gonna go with We Are Motorhead because for those reasons. The rest of them, I didn't have too much of a conflict. Iron Maiden, I got 4 here. All 4.
Which one do you pick, though? That's the important thing. Which one do you pick, Nick?
It'll be the wrong one because according to, I know Butch will not agree with this one. But I'm going to do it because, again, I think a lot of this has to do with where you were at the time and how
100%.
it affected you. And even though it's not word for word the title, it's caught somewhere in time. There's something about that song when it gets going.
I love that song.
Oh, good. Yeah. I mean, it makes me so giddy and happy to hear that song, that riff, that, I mean, just, but there's 3 others on
time to lose,
Yeah. Okay. There's 3 others on here. They were all written before this, but I won't. They all came out,
Ryan.
but I won't because somebody else might say it. I won't do it. And then let's see, where are we here? Oh yeah. So for my Blind Guardian fans, I have to go with Imaginations from the Other Side.
That's a good song.
Oh my God! Like just when that song gets going, same thing. I really think title tracks have a responsibility to the album to like
Another wall? You're going through another wall, aren't you? Right through the fucking wall.
right through the wall, right through the wall. This is more of a whimsical wall, but
Parents had to fix the house a lot when he was a kid.
a lot. Oh, I made a lot of holes. In my
lot
Nick's
of
been
movies.
gone and now he's running through walls. We're never going to see him again.
Yeah, it's gone.
Silhouette, like Sylvester the Cat.
And then the final one, that was 4, right? Yeah, then the final one, after much deliberation, I'm going to go with the song Elegy by Amorphous, which was their third album. Pete, you and Keeler and I think Ryan, you guys are probably the most familiar with this work. But
That album. I have.
yeah,
I
it's
know
just
too.
it's a moody, beautiful, real epic song about this guy. It's all stories from old Finland, and it's like the guy's girl or wife or whatever's died underground, and she's gone, and he's trying to live without her. As we all know, I love miserable music, so Elegy really, really is beautiful song. So those are my 5.
Music. Wait a minute. Did you say musical music?
Did I?
You said
Whimsical.
miserable.
Oh, whimsical.
I
You
said
said
whimsical
miserable,
twice
but
now.
You said
I
miserable.
like you said
Yeah.
whimsical or musical? I like musical music.
Miserable.
Yeah, I like musical
Miserable.
music.
Miserable music. That's what I
Miserable
said.
music.
Oh, miserable. Okay.
Musical.
Okay.
Yeah,
That makes
miserable.
more sense.
Miserable,
Yeah, so-
miserable music.
I don't know. I had a bunch of I did a whole one just for extreme music, but maybe I won't mention that unless you guys really want me to. Oh, you do? All right.
Well, weren't you talking about doing another part of these?
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah,
If you
shut up,
think we're
Nick.
going to revisit this, I'll hold it off.
Wait, Nick,
'Cause
I
I
got
have-
something to know. You promised
Yeah.
Butch one band that's like, who the fuck is that? So you got to
Yes.
give him at least
But
one.
I need only if you have it. I need the product so I can not understand what it says.
Ooh, oh boy. I'm a little unprepared, but give me 5 seconds. Talk amongst yourselves.
Okay, Steve, why don't you start?
4. Sorry.
Well, you want me to? You're ready for me to go? Oh, Nick is.
If he's
You're
gonna-
filling up time.
Are we ready at 5, 4, 3, 2?
5 seconds, Nick. Hurry
I
up.
can give you my list if you're ready.
Yeah, you can get started. When he comes back, he'll show it. But yeah, go ahead, Steve.
No particular order. I actually did this while I was waiting for my takeout. I meant to do this all day yesterday and today, and I'm like, man, it's a million ones we could pick. A million. But I'm gonna pick 5. Slayer, Rain and Blood. Nobody's mentioned that. I thought people were gonna mention all these already.
Well, like you said, there's a million.
There's a million. So Rush. Maybe I don't know if this one counts. It's 2112 Overture or 2112 and 76.
It's called
That's the name of the
2112.
album, name of the song. It counts.
Judas Priest Ram It Down is not going to be one I pick from Judas Priest. I would say I'm going to go with 1990s Painkiller. I think that's, I mean, Screaming Vengeance could have been in that very close also.
I thought you were going to say Stained Glass. That would have been my guess.
That's what I was thinking too.
Stained Glass, another
Yeah, I
excellent
thought you were
choice.
picked Stained Glass.
You could do a show on priests too.
Just ones that are in my head. Opeth, Blackwater Park,
Oh,
2002.
Yep.
And I think the one that everyone's overlooked so far, and other than what Sydney said about Black Sabbath, if you're giving somebody heavy metal and you want to play them a heavy metal track, Black Sabbath, the self-titled title track of Black
Absolutely.
Sabbath.
I was between that and Sabbath Bloody Sabbath, and I was
Yeah, Sabbath Bloody Sabbath was an excellent choice.
Yeah.
And,
You get extra points, Steve, because that's the name of the band, too.
do I get to do any honorable mention?
No, you got to wait till we all do them later.
yeah.
I thought we were just doing it.
I'll do them now.
All right.
No one else has done them. I didn't do mine.
I don't know, but
Oh.
I didn't know if we were doing
But
them.
why would anyone do honorable mentions? Because wouldn't you save them for the next episode?
Yeah, we should probably save them for the next episode.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Well,
Except for the
that's-
one.
So many we haven't gotten to, you know.
I would just like to say it's been 15 minutes since Nick went and said it was going to be 5
I know. I
seconds.
think
There is over in the corner. I can't find it.
he's got his daughter and his dog helping him trying to
Save it for the next
He's
episode.
recruiting the whole family to help find this
Exactly.
album.
I don't think I can do this, Butch. I don't
Nina's
think there's
here.
an unscrutable title track out there.
I'm gonna give you a real weird one on Steely Dan. Steely
mean,
Dan is the Royal Scam. That's my
Dark
honorable-
Dark Medieval Times by Satyricon.
Steve,
Royal
what was
Scam
your
was
last
great.
one? Steve, I didn't hear your last one.
I did Steely Dan, The Royal Scam.
That's a great song.
Yeah.
Got me.
I'm surprised you didn't
playing-
pick Never Say Die, Steve.
Well, I think that the Black Sabbath is a stronger track
I
than
would
Never
agree.
Say Die.
I
But
agree.
I know if Chris ever comes over to the house, we'll listen to the whole Never Say Die, and we'll have a
We're gonna repeat.
And the thing,
Aw.
Steve, like you were saying, it's there are a million, so it's not like anyone overlooked it. You got to pick 5.
Oh yeah.
It was
And I
really
mean,
hard.
I didn't pick my
Well,
favorite
Scott
5. I
didn't
picked
wanna
5
pick,
that I
like-
love.
And Scott didn't want to pick any normal stuff. He had to pick his little elite stuff.
Yeah, I don't want to pick
I
any
was-
normal. What did you think I was gonna pick, Steve?
Painkiller. Thought for sure you were gonna take that before I got to it.
Or
Painkiller?
anything Motorhead.
I thought you were going to do this, Ryan. This was the one
Motorhead,
I thought for sure.
Wait, which one? Hold it up again. I didn't see it.
Overkill.
Scott was with Underground Fans.
Ah,
He has
you
to
know what?
pick-
That's close.
We
There's
were
5
me and Nick were talking about Motorhead, and for some reason, because we were talking about it, my brain just bloop, and I didn't pick it.
Did your list dwindle a lot, Pete, or is it still pretty strong?
Amazingly enough,
I didn't think so.
only one that got picked out of my 5 was Heaven and Hell.
Wow,
That's it. I'm
that's
amazed.
crazy!
So,
Congrats.
woohoo! All right. So, well, now because I picked so many, I have to.
Now you
figure-
can't figure out the 5.
Yeah. So hold on, I can do that pretty quick, actually.
And Nick's getting closer.
Uh,
Wait, Nick's got something.
Nick, what do you got, Nick? Let me see if I know it. Oh, I know it. I know
Yeah.
it. I know who that is.
I can almost.
Shooter.
I know what
Slender?
band.
Panic Black Metal.
Shooter.
Anti-live.
What the? Bring it closer. Bring it closer.
Get it right in the light,
No,
not the glare.
Down, dumbass, down.
No, it's the
down.
glare.
There it is.
Oh, I'm showing you the title. Like the
I don't want to see that. I want to see the name. It's about
Yeah.
the name. That's what makes me laugh.
Nick
What-
has this on
spell it?
tap. I'll say that.
Spell it, Nick.
TSJ UDER.
Shooter.
You almost said it like Bay City Rollers when you started saying that name.
What is
Shooter.
it?
Shooter. They're on my other hat.
Yeah, I said Nick's got a hat. We saw them, but I was really fucking drunk when we saw them, so I don't remember.
It's the look of
Remember.
confusion on Butch's face after he says it. He still can't.
I'm sorry, people. I absolutely. This is all about me right here. I do this when Nick is on because
I love it.
he puts stuff, and I'm like exactly like Cindy said. I'm looking at it. I'm like, I don't. What?
Shooter.
Sorry, Pete.
It's like a
Like a
Hellhammer.
cold
It's like Hellhammer on crack.
Yeah, that's probably accurate.
Yeah, they're awesome. Sorry, Pete.
All right.
Sorry, Pete.
Close to the edge.
Ah, awesome.
Number
Why did
one.
I pick that? Man, that
I
is such a
mean,
good song.
You know, I was
That's
like, it was either that. There was I'm amazed that Steve didn't pick the other one. But
Oh,
I'm
really?
gonna hold off for the next episode, so I'm not even gonna
Ah.
go there. Expect No Mercy by Nazareth.
Oh, that's different.
Minstrel in the Gallery by Jethro Tull.
Nice.
Great title track.
He's going off the reservation here.
I'm amazed that no one mentioned this one. Lights Out by UFO.
Yeah.
Well, I
I mentioned it last week, so I held off.
I can't believe I didn't get close to the edge.
I could have sworn Butch was going to pull this one, but maybe as a thank you to me, he decided not to pick Burn by Deep Purple.
exactly.
That was like, you know, that
it's
and Heaven
written
and Hell
down.
were like my number one. So I was like, yeah. So yeah, but I have a lot of good ones that nobody mentioned. So I'll save them for next time. But that was
definitely easier than last week's 1977, where Pete didn't have anything left hardly at the end.
Poor Pete.
It's interesting how these like topics like differentiate because sometimes it's so hard because there's not enough choices, and then sometimes it's so hard because there's so many choices and it's so overwhelming that I'm like, I don't know which to pick.
This one to me was so easy that I didn't want to pick anything. There was so many that I could go left to
Yeah.
center a little bit because there was so many to pick from.
Yep. So
Yeah,
I found it kind of easy too, but that I was able to pull this together while I was waiting for
Oh yeah.
curbside takeout at Texas Roadhouse, which I
Yep.
still didn't eat yet.
and it's cool because there's a lot of like really like older classic stuff that are great title tracks, and there's a lot of recent stuff too that's really good. I mean,
Oh,
I
yeah.
I was looking at a lot of recent stuff. I said, well, you know what? Let me just pick some of the more, popular stuff or the more well-known or the ones that I've had the most history with. But, if we decide to do multiple episodes of this, there's some really great choices for.
Oh.
I can't believe I didn't think it Close to the Edge. That's like probably my favorite prog song of all time. Like,
Is it really?
Oh, I fucking love that album. And that song is just incredible. Yeah. But I didn't think of it at all. Didn't come to mind.
It's cool. You could do like different also like episodes, like if you want to do like a subgenre or like
Oh,
a
man.
decade or something, to kind of like limit it down a little bit so that you could do it like that way.
It would be
I
helpful.
wasn't going to pick Close to the Edge because I was thinking that this would be a good topic to do on the In the Prog Seat show that we do on Tuesday nights. Because there's a ton of like, prog rock title tracks, right? So that's why also here, I have a couple sitting here. One that I could have sworn Steve was going to pick, and I'm not even going to go there because I think if I decide to do that on the Tuesday night show, I have a couple here that I've saved. So.
Oh, so it's a prog title that you thought I was going to pick.
Yes.
Okay.
I think you and I, Pete, were the only ones that did prog, right?
I can guess what band it is now by you
I
saying.
think I know what band it is.
Anyway.
Emerson.
Band it was something.
So there you have it, everybody. So list some of your favorite title tracks in the comments below, your top 5 or 10 or whatever you like. We will revisit this in a couple of weeks once again. So stay tuned for that. But we've got a couple other bits of business to tend to for the next few weeks. Debut albums and going back to a favorite year. So the next 3 weeks will be some of that. And then we'll circle back on the title tracks again, probably in early September. So our center square, Mr. Butch Jones, final thought of the evening.
Or Edmonton Oilers need a goalie, and they didn't get anybody in free agency. That's all I got.
That's all you got. Okay.
That's all I got.
Better call back Grant. He's a little old, huh?
Right, Nick?
It's true. The Rangers are the toughest team in the league now.
Yes, they are.
Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. Of course, we're here on YouTube
All the damn
time. For Steve Keeler, Chris Allo, Butch Jones, Nick Franco, Sydney Taylor, and Ryan Scow. I am Pete Pardo. See you all next Monday, and I'll see you guys tomorrow in the Prog Seat. Have a good night, everybody.